Welcome everyone, join us today as we pay tribute to Billy Fury, one of the UK's most beloved rock and roll icons who rose to fame in the 1960s. So let's dive in. Billy Fury, born Ronald Wycherley on the 17th of April 1940 in Liverpool, in England. He was zodiac sign Aries. Born at 8:45 a.m. in Smithdown Hospital, Liverpool, now Sefton General Hospital, Billy, weighing 6 pounds 15 ounces, was initially going to be named Kenneth by his parents, Albert, a wartime soldier turned shoemaker, and Sarah Jane. He suffered his first bout of rheumatic fever in 1946, which weakened his heart valves and caused ongoing health issues. His first stay at Alder Hey Hospital lasted 2 months, followed by another visit a year later. In 1943, while visiting his father in London, he was bitten on the right cheek by a dog, leaving a lifelong scar. Ron attended St Silas's infant school while living at 34 Halliburton Street. At age 12, after a relapse, he was hospitalised in Wales, but escaped by climbing down a drainpipe, only to be caught in nearby fields. During one stay, he overheard a doctor telling his mother he might not live to 30, and he later told friends he expected to die young. Billy's younger brother Albert had a milder form of the same heart condition and was also treated at Alder Hey, which left him with a murmur. At 11, Billy began piano lessons, but a more significant event came 3 years later when his parents bought him his first guitar for his 14th birthday. Though enthusiastic, Billy wasn't very skilled on the guitar and admitted in a later interview that he only knew 3 chords. In 1955, at age 15, Billy left Wellington Road Secondary Modern School, calling it the unhappiest time of his life. His father got him a job at Ellison's Engineering, where he started as a tea-boy and later heated rivets for welders. After a prank gone wrong, Billy lost the job for striking a foreman with a welding gun. His father then got him work as a deckhand on the tugboat Formby. Inspired by country and western records brought by sailors, Billy formed the Formby Sniffle Group, performing in local cafes. Billy switched boats but soon clashed with the skipper, ending the job with a punch. In 1957, he joined Joshua Harris's department store, where he was inspired by colleague Margot King to write, "Margot, don't go." He began performing gigs, impressing his small audience with his singing and songwriting. In May 1958, he recorded 6 tracks on a 78 revolutions per minute acetate at Percy F. Phillips' studio in Liverpool and sent a tape of songs and a photo to impresario Larry Parnes. He received no reply and entered a local talent contest, Carol Levi's Discoveries, at the Liverpool Empire, but failed to stand out. His mother wrote again to Larry Parnes, who then invited him to meet on October 1 at the Birkenhead Esseldo during the Larry Parnes Extravaganza tour. Brian Bennett, the drummer in Marty Wilde's band, noticed Billy with his guitar in a plastic bag and distinctive brothel creepers. Billy performed 5 of his songs for Marty Wilde and Parnes, hoping Marty would record them. In a legendary moment, Parnes brought Billy on stage during the interval. As the curtains opened, an anxious 18-year-old Billy made his debut, singing Margot, Don't Knock Upon My Door, and Maybe Tomorrow. He was so nervous his knees knocked, which fans mistook for part of the act. The next day, he joined the tour and performed professionally in Stretford. Billy recalled, "My parents didn't believe it until I packed my suitcase. My mum was worried, but I convinced her it was my big chance." Parnes decided Ronald Wycherley wouldn't suit a rock star, so he renamed him Billy Fury. His first single, Maybe Tomorrow, reached the top 20. Within 7 months, Billy signed a 7-year contract with Decca. He recorded the Sound of Fury album, a rockabilly collection of his own songs, which many fans consider their favorite. The album was recorded in 2 3-hour sessions, featuring Joe Brown on guitar and Andy White on drums, the same drummer who played on the Beatles' Love Me Do, when Ringo was deemed inadequate. Billy even flew in the 4Js from Liverpool to provide backing vocals at his own expense. One group that unsuccessfully auditioned to back Billy included Johnny Hutch, Stu Sutcliffe, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, and George Harrison, calling themselves the Silver Beatles for the first time. They were offered the job for £20 a week each if Stu Sutcliffe was dropped, but John Lennon refused. The following year, Billy had 4 more hits, including Colette, inspired by an actress in a French film. Billy loved rock and roll and could really belt out the rocking numbers. However, Parnes rebranded him as a ballader, leading to Billy being associated with big production numbers. His cover of Tony Orlando's Halfway to Paradise hit number 3 in 1961, and the song became closely linked with Billy. From 1995 to 7, Halfway to Paradise was a top favorite on Britain's Gem AM, and later in 1998, it would finally reach number 1. Despite continuing success and overcoming his shyness to connect with fans, Billy never had a #1 hit. Billy hit #2 with Jealousy and #3 with When Will You Say I Love You, while From Me to You topped the charts. In the 1960s, he had more top 20 hits in the UK than all but the Beatles, Cliff Richard, and Elvis Presley. Billy's heart issues plagued him from late 1961, causing him to cut performances short or be replaced last minute, with fans being told he had exhaustion or flu. He was backed by notable groups like the Tornadoes, Georgie Fame and the Blue Flames, an early Mott the Hoople lineup, and the Gamblers. Billy's good looks made him a natural for TV. His first appearance was in Ted Willis's Strictly for the Sparrows. He debuted in Oh Boy! In February 1959 and became a favorite on Boy Meets Girls, and later co-hosted Wham! In 1960. In 1962, he made his film debut in Play It Cool, followed by I've Got a Horse, and a guest role in That'll Be the Day, with David Essex, which topped the charts. That May, he and Parnes flew to Los Angeles to present gold and silver discs to Elvis Presley on the set of Girls, Girls, Girls. Billy recalled their brief meeting. "We didn't say much. Elvis was one of the nicest people I met. He called everyone sir." Billy's final release of 1962 was the ballad Because of Love, from a film. Parnes had falsely reduced Billy's age by a year to appeal more to fans, so on his 22nd birthday, Billy had to pretend it was his 21st. Frequent illnesses began to depress him, but he continued with variety shows and pantomimes, which he disliked. As the Beatles' new sound began to overshadow established artists, many, including Marty Wilde and others, struggled with their music. After his last top 10 hit, In Thoughts of You, in 1965, Billy started focusing on his love of wildlife. After signing with Emmy's Parlophone in 1967, Billy struggled with health issues and did only limited promotional work, mostly performing cabaret when able. He found solace at his home in Ockley, Surrey, a mock Tudor mansion with 10 acres, where he could escape the attention of fans and host celebrities. In 1971, Billy needed open-heart surgery and had to use the NHS. He took 6 months off and later enjoyed better health on a 100-acre farm bought by his partner, Lisa Rosen, near Llandovey, Wales. His 11 Parlophone releases were stylistically varied, lacking a clear musical direction and featuring numerous producers. Personally, Audrey Lee Middleton, who had been Billy's live-in girlfriend for 8 years, left him to marry Kenny Everett. Billy then married Judith Hall, a former best friend of Lee, on May 31, 1969, but the marriage was brief. For the last 12 years of his life, Billy was with heiress Lisa Rosen. None of his relationships resulted in children, though Lee suffered 2 miscarriages. Lisa provided crucial financial support and assisted Billy in managing his growing dependence on alcohol, which was exacerbated by his recurring depression. In 1973, Billy made a brief appearance in That'll Be the Day, but retired for the rest of the 70s after needing a second heart operation. In 1978, he re-recorded his hits for K-Telephone to settle his bankruptcy, blaming Larry Parnes for the tax issues. He was discharged from bankruptcy a year later. A potential comeback emerged in the early 1980s with the recording of The One and Only Billy Fury, released posthumously. On March 7, 1982, Billy collapsed at his farm, suffering partial paralysis and temporary blindness but recovered well. A live TV show and national tour followed, but on January 28, 1983, he was pronounced dead on arrival at St Mary's Hospital in London, after being found unconscious in his flat. The heart issues that plagued him throughout his life ultimately led to his death. Billy was buried at Mill Hill Cemetery, in North London. A song issued posthumously entitled Forget Him became his final chart hit. And there you have it. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life and legacy of Billy Fury. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more stories about the legends of rock and roll. Take care and bye for now.